Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jay Hollingshed, high performance mindset coach. No longer mental performance coach, but high performance mindset coach. Same concept, same content, better name for better results. Thank you once again for tuning in to my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. Today is day 28 and also the 7th day of the week, which means today we discuss pillar number 7. Pillar number 7 is positive and negative self-talk. Positive and negative self-talk. Now, the past few times there have been questions that have been scrolling up for me to try and answer. I'm going to try to answer the questions afterwards in the chat because this recording will also be broadcast on other social media platforms where there is a time limit. So I will address your questions. However, they will be in chat form. I cannot address them live at this time. Now, today is day 28. And we're talking about positive and negative self-talk. So all day long, most of us have an ongoing conversation with our psyche. That's that voice that's in our head. Now, if we can actually stop and listen to the conversation, we'll think to ourselves, how do we ever get anything done? Well, now it's hard when we think about that because many times a day, we find ourselves mentally rehearsing the worst possible outcomes. We find ourselves mentally rehearsing saying we can't do it or it's too hard. And actually, the best way to get something done is to repeat the action with consistency. So on Thursday, we learned that when we think in pictures. And when we constantly repeat in our minds the worst possible outcome, we can't do this or it's too hard. What we're doing is repeating in our minds, not just the worst possible outcome, we're repeating in our minds that picture of an action of failure. Then it's playing out in our minds over and over every time we repeat that negative self-talk. Why? Because we think in pictures. Now, to be consistent negative self-talk is nothing more than consistently rehearsing failure. That's all it is. Consistent negative self-talk is a consistent rehearsal of failure. Why do I say that? Because we consistently follow through with the negative actions. The body always follows the mind. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what you read, hear, whatever. Trust me. From your own experience and mine, the body will always follow the mind. You think the action, then you follow through with it. Now, how do we stop this self-inflicted verbal abuse, which is really what it is? We stop that by doing just the opposite. We flood our mind with self-inflicted compliments. We got to come with the opposite. We got to flood our mind with self-inflicted compliments. Now, there's a scholarly magazine called Psychology Today. And in Psychology Today, they state that the self-talk of today is normally or mostly up to 70% negative. So now that puts me in this frame of mind. We're talking about undoing negative self-talk. And if it's already at 70%, wow, to be effective at stopping that level of self-talk, we really got to come with at least 75% positive self-talk. Why? Because it's going to take at least that much to break even and just get across the breaking even line at 70%. So it's going to take a lot of consistent positive self-talk, a lot of following through with the positive action of that positive self-talk. And when you do that a lot, it's going to become a habit, then a lifestyle. It's a known fact that it takes an average of 21 days to form a habit and an average of 90 days to form a lifestyle. So keep that in mind as you go through practicing your habits. Now, please understand that I cannot leave you without some type of example or life story or testimony. So after being a career firefighter, working in the Children's Emergency Department or the ER back home in Memphis at Labana Children's Hospital, and being taken under the wing of celebrity entertainers and shadowing their life and their lifestyle behind the scenes and everything else, I have plenty of stories of high performance and that high performance mindset. So I got to give you one today. Today is a little different. First of all, how many of you know a firefighter? Now, you can't raise your hand. So those of you that know a firefighter, just hit the like button for me. Put your thumbs up. That lets me know that you know a firefighter. Now, how many of you know a firefighter that has a second job or a job on the side because they have all the time in the world, or they got more time than the average person? Go ahead and hit your like button and let me know that you know somebody like that. I used to fit into that category. I was a firefighter and I had a side hustle or a second job. My side hustle was actually doing hair. I was the owner and operator of Mr. J's Barber and Style Shop. For 7 years, I owned and operated my own barbershop. And it pretty much ran itself when I wasn't there. So it was kind of like a no-brainer. Now, everybody knows that there are no do-overs when cutting hair. You can't say, oh, stop, wait a minute, let me start over. It doesn't work that way. You mess up, you really mess up. So here's a story, and it didn't happen to me, but I've seen it so many times in barbershops where a new client will come in, and if there's a new barber in the shop, new client come in and wants to get a haircut, sit in the barber's chair, and the new client says, I want XYZ. And the barber's thinking to himself, cool, no problem. New barber though, new barbershop, everybody's trying to check him out. They want to see what he can do. So is the new client. That's when all the negative self-talk starts to flow in your head. You're looking around, you're like, okay, you think everybody's eyes are on you when they're actually not. But since you think that, in your mind, you have a picture of everybody's eyes being on you. Next thing you know, you're thinking the worst possible outcome. I can't do this, or the worst situation. What do? You turn around and flood yourself with the positive. Think about the positives of where you are. You have a license on the wall. You've passed the state exam. You know what you're doing. You passed the practical and the theory portion of the exam. You got a license on the wall. You're in one of the top shops in the city. Yeah, you got this. I got this. I know I got this. I ain't worried about this. I can do this with my eyes closed. So you go ahead and you proceed thinking with the positive. If you're thinking with the positive, you're going to go through with positive actions. Now, the barber ended up cutting the hair well. The client loved the hairstyle and came back and became a repeat customer. Now, let's say that the barber didn't do a good job and followed through with the negative. Now, when you follow through with the negative self-talk, your mind, as we learned yesterday, will start to stress. Next thing you know, your mind will see that as a threat, and you will have physical and emotional bodily reactions. Your hands will start shaking, your palms will get sweaty. You don't want to hold clippers or a straight razor with sweaty palms and your hands shaking. Not a good thing to do. But that's what I'm talking about when you follow through with the positive and negative, follow through with the positive side of the mindset. Please understand that nothing that I'm telling you is an instant quick fix method. My teachings and my coachings are a process of consistency. So the sooner you start, the sooner you will see results. That's all I have for today on positive and negative self-talk. I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. And please like, share, tag this video in all your social media platforms. Go to my YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, thank you. I appreciate you. I am Jay Hollingshed, High Performance Mindset Coach. I help athletes go pro. I help executives make their bottom line. I help entertainers become more productive. Public speakers become more confident, and I help entertainers become more creative. So if you want me as your personal coach, inbox me. I want to see you succeed. I got you. I'm your coach. Thank you. Be well, stay blessed, and through love, be a blessing. God bless.